know that none of us likes to feel stuck, especially when it comes to our career. And I remember a few years ago, I felt stuck. And it wasn't that I was in a bad place. I had grown in my career. I had received multiple promotions. I had taken on more and more responsibility. But there was something that was missing, and I was feeling stuck. I didn't feel like I had clarity. I didn't feel like what I was doing was aligned with my purpose and aligned with what I wanted to do. And so I felt stuck. And at that time, I kept being asked the same question. It's like everybody I would talk to would ask me the same question over and over. And maybe you've been asked this question before. And whenever I was asked the question, I could articulate something back. But whenever I would ask it to myself and I was honest with myself, I really didn't have an answer. And that caused me to have a little bit of anxiety and fear inside. And that question that I kept being asked is the question, so what do you want to do? And this isn't what do you want to do this weekend, or where do you want to go for dinner, or what do you want to do on vacation? This was, what do you want to do with your career? Where do you want to be in 3 years or 5 years or 20 years? What do you want people to say about you 200 years from now when they talk about your legacy? So what do you want to do? And again, I could articulate an answer to people who are asking me that question. But if I was honest with myself, I didn't have an answer for that. And it really caused me to feel anxious. And it caused some uncertainty to rise inside my soul that really caused me to be uncomfortable. And so that really launched me out on a journey to create a structure and to create a way for me to get my own personal clarity. And that really is what the plan framework is about. Because I knew one of two things were happening in my career. Either I was drifting to a destination, or I was designing my way to my preferred destination. And I don't know if you've ever been on a boat in a lake or a boat in the ocean and you've drifted. It's a very uncomfortable place to be, and it can be, because there's a couple of things that are true about drifting. And I was thinking back a couple of months ago, I was in a kayak on a lake, and I experienced this. Whenever I would stop paddling and I would just sit in the kayak, there's a couple of things that were true about what was happening to me in that moment when it came to drifting, because I was starting to drift. The first was, I drifted in whatever direction the current was moving. So if the current was moving north, I'm drifting north. If it's moving west, I'm drifting west. And more than likely, and especially in my case at that moment, I was not drifting any closer to my destination, which was the house that we were staying in at that point on the lake. I was drifting further and further away from my preferred destination. Because when we drift, we always move in the direction the current is moving. The other thing that's true about drifting is we always move at the speed at which the current is moving. If it's moving fast, we're moving fast. If it's not moving at all, guess what? We are not moving at all. And sometimes in our career, we can feel that way. We can feel that we're drifting. We're just moving along whatever direction the current is moving, at whatever pace it's moving. Some periods it may be fast, some periods it may be slow. We may feel like we're moving further away or closer to our destination. But that's what happens when we drift. And for some of us, we are drifting in our career. The other option is that we design our way to our preferred destination, is that we have a structured way for us to get clarity and define where we want to be and how we're going to get there, and make sure that we're driving aligned action towards that destination. And that's really what the plan framework is about. But before we dive into the details of the plan framework and start to unpack that, I want to introduce you to another principle to help guide us along the way. And it's called the principle of the path. And the principle of the path says that our direction will determine our destination. Our direction will determine our destination. If you think about this from just a practical perspective, think about your favorite vacation destination spot. One of our favorite vacation destination spots is Fripp Island, and it's an island that's south of Charleston where we live, and we like to go there. It's a fun place to be and to take our kids. But if I get in a car with our kids and we start to drive north from Charleston, it doesn't matter if our intent is to go to Fripp Island. We are moving directionally away from the destination we want to be at, which is Fripp Island. We will end up at a destination, but it won't be our preferred destination that we intended to be at, because our direction will determine our destination. If you think about your career and my career, we are heading in a direction today, and that direction will ultimately determine the destination that we end up at when it comes to our career and our life. And so if that's true, if our direction determines our destination, then we should take a step back and we should think about our destination defining our direction. that we should start by defining our destination. Where do we want to be? What is our purpose? Where do we want to align things to? Ultimately, where do we want to go to when it comes to our career? What do we want to grow into? Where do we want to be? What do we want our lives and our impact to be? And we start with our destination and let that destination then define the direction that we go in. So I could say Fripp Island is our destination, and now I can find out and figure out the optimal direction we can go in to get us to our destination. And so as we unpack the plan framework, think about that. Think about your direction will determine your destination. So I want to make sure that the direction I'm going in and being intentional about it is getting me closer and closer to my destination. But I also want to have crystal clarity when it comes to my destination so that I can drive meaningful action that is aligned to make sure my direction is getting me closer to where I want to be. And as we unpack the plan framework, it's really designed around helping us provide a structure to get clarity on destination and clarity on direction.